The following show is about a fake GOAT debate. Although there is no actual award for being the GOAT, the views expressed have been known to make basketball fans and haters get extremely emotional. It contains strong language and content. Viewer discretion is advised.
What it do, y'all? This your boy Mikey Justice, and it's time for episode 11 of Everybody Don't Hate LeBron. Tonight, we're going to talk about the infamous bubble ring. We're going to see was drafting Bronny a smart investment for the Lakers, and Stephen A. selling some more Wolf tickets. It's episode 11 of Everybody Don't Hate LeBron, and it starts now.
Man, he be flopping.
Man, he a loser.
Man, he be stat padding.
Man, he ain't a good teammate.
Man, 20-time All-Star.
Man, he only playing so
four-time
he can
league
catch
MVP,
Jordan.
four-time finals MVP.
Man, he ain't never won no
championship with every team he's
You
been
want to
on.
talk basketball? Then let's talk basketball.
Man, I think you hate LeBron James.
Everybody hates LeBron James.
LeBron James.
What it do, y'all? This is episode 11 of Everybody Don't Hate LeBron. I'm your boy Mikey Justice, and joined as always on the ones and twos. I got my main man Phil. What it do, bro?
Ain't nothing. What's up, everybody?
All right, we gonna just start it off with them, like they say about them Cowboys. How about them Lakers?
Right.
Yeah, man, they've been playing great lately.
Yeah.
Beat OKC, and you know they one of the best teams in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, they might be eating a little of that that B word. They better be careful, man. These Lakers is a little bit better than they giving them credit for.
Yeah, they are.
And they steady moving up. So like those bad matchups that people thought they were going to get by being a lower seed, it might not happen. They anywhere between 2 and 4 right now.
Yeah.
So I think if they get that second, third, even that fourth spot, man, I think they should be all right. You're going to have another year of everybody hating because LeBron probably won't go home in the first round.
Right.
We'll be getting swept. Like they always, you get swept.
Yeah,
Man, he never got swept in the first round.
Yeah.
I think they even won one game against Denver. He never been swept in the first round.
Nah.
You hear me?
Yep.
But the finals and all that, they'll find any false narrative to try to say because a lot of people hate LeBron. But everybody don't hate LeBron. Yeah, so that's what it is, y'all. Yep. We like to talk about, we will talk about anything basketball, but we try to talk about everything LeBron.
Right on.
Hey, man, him, Luka, Austin Reeves, they really gelling and they playing great. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I'm thinking that the Anthony Davis thing, man, the trade been looking great. You know what I'm saying? I thought with their size and the way that they can switch up the versatility, I thought Anthony Davis gave them an edge, and I thought at any time with somebody being his size and LeBron's size and the skill level they had, if they wanted to turn it on, they could turn it on at any time and beat anybody at any time.
Right. Yep.
But honestly, I think they playing just as good or a little bit better with Luka. I don't know, that losing that big man, I think they're going to implement somebody and get them in there, and I think that they're good enough, and even with LeBron's size and the way the game has changed and the spacing, that he's even big enough to play down there if need be. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that hurt him as bad as people thought that it would.
Yeah. I thought it was if Anthony Davis could stay consistent,
Anthony Davis is a hell of a talent.
Nobody can really do what he do at that position if he's consistent. But him being hurt and
sometime up and down. Man, Anthony Davis, when he on, is one of the best in the game.
Yeah.
And I still think he's legitimately top 75, something like that. Skill level, big man wise, I think he was one of the best.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, dude is nasty with his game. But honestly, man, when you could get a generational talent like Luka and at his age and everything, and to do some of the things he's done, he's already broke all kind of records for like most points, assists, and all that out of anybody in their first 20-some games with a new team. You hear me?
Right.
Dude, once they let him unleash the beast and let him go and just do his thing out there, man, that dude is, oh, man. And then he got several years younger than Anthony Davis, so I thought it was a very good move.
I thought
as much as you love people like Anthony Davis, man, you just can't hold on forever. LeBron ain't gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
And I think people thought it was there's a more their claim is about setting LeBron up and trying to put on this if it ain't for the spectacle, the show is because they're trying to get him another ring and they're trying to put him in the playoff. It's going to be all these are false narratives, but I don't think that's what it is. I think them getting Luka kind of put them right in there as far as now and prepared them for the future.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was a great move. Like I said, they're good right now, and they still set up for. I think he ain't going nowhere now for me.
Yeah.
They loving him out there, and that's the kind of place that need that type of star. And he has that kind of flair to his game. So I think them picking him up, man, even though I hate it because, like we say, Anthony Davis is a generational talent.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to argue with the trade once you really see how it played out.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, yeah, man, we'll get off into that, man. But people ain't giving these Lakers credit, man. And I think if somebody run up tripping, they're going to get sent home. This team is a little bit better than people think that they are.
I can agree.
Yes, sir.
They came out that way though, man. They came out this year a little bit different.
Yeah, they did, man. They've
Yeah.
been playing good basketball, man. Looking real good. I don't know, JJ Redick doing an excellent job, even with the whole situation with Bronny, the spectacle, all the hate you get online and all that other stuff, man. I think that they've been really doing a good job of trying to hold that thing down, maintain it, and regardless of what the haters say, really try to keep it basketball.
Right.
First thing we're gonna go off into, man, is that everybody's saying that ring is a bubble ring.
Mm-hmm.
I had plenty of videos that I could have put together and showed with all the people giving their opinion about it, and some people like, nah, man, there's no possible way that it's a bubble ring. They was like, honestly, it was some of the best basketball that could be played. And when I seen some of them highlights, which we're gonna show in a minute, man, it was really some good basketball. I remember the emotion of Jamal Murray just getting in his feelings like, man, I don't want to go home, playing his behind out.
Right.
The spin moves, the dunks, the 50-point games, that was some of his best basketball to me. And some of those highlights and some of those things we saw, man, like they say, the block with Bam Adebayo on our own St. Louis boy, Jason Tatum, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was one of the greatest. And I think because you know how people used to say about people like Michael Jackson when they was going through stuff, they're like the best thing or first thing he need to do is go get back in that boot.
Right.
Because that's when he could really be himself, he in his element,
he in his element.
And all that. He's super then. All that stuff that extra stuff don't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what I be thinking about when I think about that bubble ring, man. I was like, those cats didn't have nothing. That's when the pandemic was going on. The country was going through a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time in a long time. It was the first time for a lot of people that they ever seen a world being ran the way that it was ran during that time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
All that isolation, man, and loss of freedom and
all of that, man.
Yeah.
Not being able to really be around people that affected people, not being able to really, you couldn't even show like affection. You couldn't really, people weren't comfortable with hugging people, shaking people's hand. Like the way they were saying, like a lot of times people had their head down and whoever they roll with, it was like a war, like my posse, my troop against your troop.
right.
You couldn't be around people. You had to select few people. So it was like memes, man, like music is my savior. Some of those people, man, they didn't have nothing else to lean on, man, to give them comfort and, satisfaction other than playing basketball. So they played their heart out. They was mentioning people like Spider, Donovan Mitchell and like we said, Jamal Murray, Bam Adebayo, even LeBron James and other people, man. They was seriously out there. Damian Lillard out there balling. You heard me?
Right.
Playing some serious basketball because during that time, man, there was nothing else that you could really lean on. You heard me? So to say that, and then like the way people be wanting the All-Star game to be, I want to see these cats play for real. I be telling you, you get a little of that satisfaction when the Olympic teams play, but it's not all the way like that because they're not really playing against each other. They're playing together, all of them on the same team.
Yeah.
And they're playing against international teams that may have one or two big-time NBA stars.
Yeah, that's on that level.
But they're way more dominant than the teams that they're playing. I thought during this bubble, man, and no distractions, no outside people hating on you, heckling from the crowd, you could really focus on basketball.
Yeah.
And regardless of what's going on or, the coronavirus pandemic and all that stuff going on at the time, it did not change nobody's skill level. You still LeBron James, you still Kawhi Leonard, you still Damian Lillard, regardless of what else is going on.
Yeah.
Because it ain't nobody in them seats, man, didn't take away their physical ability. So you still got good basketball from bona fide pros.
Yeah. True.
I think only other than it being LeBron and people just mad because he won it. I really didn't get it. Why were they saying that it was a fake ring? Because it's in LA, it's Mickey Mouse. Come on, okay, we get the corny ass, you know, putting the Disney in there because you in California, LA,
Right.
wherever you at. You know, the whole Showtime spectacle. But come on, man, Mickey Mouse ring, and then. If I remember right, man, I think they did still play like 50 games that year.
Yeah, they did.
So I was seeing where they were saying that they had already played a lot of those teams like 2-3 times a year.
Mhm.
You know, it's so many teams. So if you add one more game to each one of those teams, you can easily get 30 more games out of there. That's just one more game. It's 30 teams. So with the 50 game schedule, they still play some of those teams 2 or 3 times that year.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
it wasn't all that short. You know,
it really wasn't. Only thing that I said that would have been different is what you proved that you could beat them 4 times in 1 year.
Right.
Because if you played them 2-3 times and you beat them, how many times do you got to prove that you can beat them?
Right.
Okay, then another thing.
I could just beat you.
If you know, you know.
Right.
But anyway, you know, the playoffs.
Mhm.
The playoffs. You got to win the game. Nah, man, the playoffs was regular length. So what is all the garbage and BS that people be talking?
Mhm.
Like I said, you have to have 4 series, right?
Yeah.
Where you get 4 wins. That means the total. We doing math, y'all. Let's go back kindergarten. 4 times 4 still took 16 wins to be able to hold that trophy up in the air over your head.
Yeah.
So why does people try to act like that ring does not count? Man, the playoffs wasn't short. You had to win the same. And I don't care about people in the stands and all of that, man.
Yeah.
I never knew that the fans' energy made the ball go in the basket.
It don't. That's them fans that think that if I cheer hard enough, they'll win.
Some of those people
no effect on the game, bro.
The Cardinals lost because I didn't wear my lucky Cardinal draws this morning. You hear me? Or when I watch the game, I distract them. They play better when I don't look. All of
those superstition.
Come on, man. I'm like, I don't get it, man. And then the thing about it, like we said, it's not LeBron James' fault that a pandemic happened. He didn't make the season short.
Well, if you know, like I know, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, man.
And him and Bill Gates, they got together and you know what I'm saying?
Look, but that's what I'm saying, man. It had to be a trophy because it was still a season. It has to have a starting point and it has to have an ending point. That's going to be a champion because whether you play 1 game, 50, 82, you play some games.
Right.
Somebody has to come out on top. It has to be some substance, some start, some finish to it.
Right.
Got to be something to it. So, like we were saying, everybody that was in that tournament wanted to win it.
Yeah.
This is a real championship. If they going bananas over an in-season tournament, bro,
Right.
because like we said, when you competitive, it ain't even about the money. It ain't about the trophy. You play to win the game.
Yeah.
Everybody want to win, man. You just want to win, bro. You heard me?
And then when that's not enough, get out.
Retire. Because you competitive, man, for bragging rights or nothing else. Anytime. I don't care if you playing video games against your little brother. You want to win.
Yeah.
You're playing spades, dominoes, Uno. You want to win, man. So I don't know. Everybody that was in it, I felt like if you wasn't out there to win it, you shouldn't have been out there.
Right.
You wanted to win it, and it was only hating all that because LeBron didn't want it. And I think with their size and everything, like I said, the way that they were playing at the time, I think anybody that ran up on them was gonna get beat.
Yeah.
If he could play like that and throw it down and still have that type of hops and finesse and knowledge of the game, 5 years later at 40, what you think he would? That to me probably was actually some of his prime. 35?
Yeah.
Come on, man. LeBron
35
had plenty,
in my prime.
LeBron had plenty left, and that's still like a late 20, early 30 maybe. Anthony Davis. How old is Anthony Davis? Still in his early
35 now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, come on, man. They had plenty left. I don't know what people talking about with that old bubble, man. But like we were saying, man, to me, they had nothing else to focus on but basketball. So a lot of these cats played their heart out, man. And we'll roll this video.
Really people out there that just pretend the bubble wasn't peak basketball because they hate LeBron. There was so many legendary moments that happened in the bubble. Look at that game winner, Luka setback over the Clippers. Luka, this is the beginning of Luka owning the Clippers and making them his bitch. I swear that Luka hates the Clippers and the Suns. Those are the two teams where he just dominates them anytime they match up. Devin Booker turn up. That Suns 8-game win streak. This was peak basketball, bro. And y'all just pretend it wasn't because, again, y'all hate LeBron. Like, it was so many legendary moments that happened in the bubble. Bam Adebayo's block on Jason Tatum. That's one of the greatest blocks in playoff history. Oh my God, Giannis, what the fuck, bro? All this legend, yo, he got his ankle snapped up. Oh my God, 360 lay by Jamal Murray. Oh, speaking of Murray was going crazy. Murray and Mitchell, the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets, they was going crazy in the playoffs. That was one of the best playoff series in NBA history. Y'all just pretend that it wasn't peak basketball, though. It was ass. Damian Lillard was going crazy. Like, bro, you just gotta watch the game. I could tell none of y'all really watched it because y'all just say that it was weak because LeBron won the title.
Yeah, man. Just in case y'all forgot, that was just a little bit of how it went down during the bubble, man. They were straight up out there balling. Like I said, that's as close to me as you gonna get to this straight professional level talent just balling. That's like at the gym with nobody there, YMCA. You hear me?
Right.
Talking crap late at night. Us going out to Highway 40, if y'all know in St. Louis, that's it's like Rucker Park in St. Louis where all the hoopers go. Used to be able to turn the lights on at 3 in the morning. You hear me?
Right.
To me, that's how the pandemic balling was. Like, ain't no distractions, no fans. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get down, get in here. My jumper against your jumper, my hops, still professional level ability. Don't matter if nobody out there. It's still on camera, so you got the receipt.
Right.
You got to hear about nobody getting cooked. We got the receipt.
Yeah, but let's bring it up.
You know what I'm saying? You know, some of them hidden videos that nobody want nobody to see.
Right.
Those them type of games. Pick up. Oh, no, you got to get them back. Nah, Charles. Say Malone scoring on Barkley. Nah, Barkley, you got to get them back. You got to do. That's some of that type of just straight up Derrick Rose. We out here hooping.
Right.
We straight balling.
We just hooping.
Just straight basketball, man. I don't know what the hell they be talking about. But anyway, moving on. The next man, I got a guy who breaks down the whole thing about the Lakers drafting Bronny. You know, and me and you talked a lot. We think it was a very smart investment.
Yeah.
I think you made a beautiful point just saying that they saved a lot of money by drafting him. So anybody that think that he wasn't going to get drafted, you stupid.
Right.
Like they say, his agent could have easily asked for two-way contracts. You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
This dude making them $50 million on jersey sales, whether he put the ball in the basket one time.
Right.
And just like this dude say in his video, man, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, you know?
Yeah.
I used to try to tell people that a lot of times because they used to be like, the only reason that I had the job that I had back in the day was because of my dad. And I was like, well, you know, who's to argue that point?
Mm-hmm.
I said, and if that was the reason, I'm blessed for that. But at the same time, he didn't walk in there and clock in and put that work in for 20 years.
Right.
So a little bit of the credit goes to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They can't give him all the credit.
He can't take all the credit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, at the end of the day, regardless if his dad got him that position or whatever, he still got to work his behind off and get himself up to pro level potential.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't going to just remain out there if he ain't got no skill. Ain't no accident pros. You're
not at all.
And like they say, man, this is above Division One. These are people who straight up had the potential to get call-ups and tryouts and have a chance to be pros.
Yeah.
So these are bona fide ballers, man. And to be able to put up 39 and 52 points against them, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And then I also heard somebody make the point that just with the jersey sales alone and everything else, that before he even touched the basketball for the Lakers, that he generated $50 million of worth of revenue.
Right.
And they was like, that was enough to pay the highest salary on that team. So me thinking, like, with everything he's done, being a veteran and body of work, when you say highest payer, you pretty much talking about either Luka or LeBron.
Right.
Which I'm thinking you're talking about LeBron. So if signing this young man allows you to get Luka or LeBron for free, and it offsets his $50 million contract,
right,
bro, that's a beautiful investment.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you gonna get his little dude. If I can make you 50, then we gonna play it like this. It's it's like owning a franchise, owning your own McDonald's or Burger King.
Mhm.
The Lakers is your brand. So I know I need that as part of the NBA. Me by myself is not enough to showcase my talent. Ain't nobody gonna come see me.
Right.
So out of that 50 million, okay, what you say a good percentage? You say 25 is 50-50 straight down the middle.
Right.
Which I think that the person who's the reason for the season should have the biggest slice of the pie. I would say that I would try to see if more of it like 27-28% or 30 million or something like that come to him out of that 50, and maybe they get 20 if they was playing it like that.
Yeah.
But that's way more than that they would have had to pay him by signing him as a rookie.
Right.
The rookie signing puts him on a pay scale where he can only make what? Maybe
Like
7
8,
to 10.
I think. Yeah.
Something like that,
$7
over
to $10
$2
million,
$3
yeah.
for first 2-3 years.
Mhm.
Then he would get his worth and his max contract or whatever he
Right.
worked. So if you only got to pay somebody 7 to 10 million, man, and they can make you 50 off jersey sales, and that's without counting him helping the team get better because he actually can play a little bit.
Right.
That's not counting all the people that he's going to put in the seats. You hear me?
Right.
I'm pretty sure that even G League games are sold out.
Mhm.
That's all they doing is talking about this dude. You hear me? So, man, from that standpoint, that he knocks you off he take you off the books for paying one of your top players, generate big revenue like that. He's drawing a buzz, bringing excitement. They're doing things that never been done before, man.
Mhm.
I think honestly, from a basketball fan standpoint, it was a 100% beautiful investment.
Yeah. I think
Very
so.
smart. I think it, and like dude said, man, once he raised his stock and showed how good he had been playing and all that, he was already like, they say, got all the way up to being like the 54th prospect.
Yeah.
And he
based
got
off of his draft show out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he get the 55th pick. They like his numbers wise, ability wise, is just right there with anybody that's been picked at that position, or probably even better.
Yeah.
All those people are potential picks anyway. So other than getting who you want, that's what you do at that pick. So you finally got people that made sense of it or tried to, like we do on this show. Like, whose spot did he take?
Yeah.
He's only one person, so there's only one spot. And that's a personal judgment standpoint. How much, if this person is so much better than him, because anybody that has any numbers that's comparable to him, then you take the person you want.
Yeah.
Which they did. But anybody who numbers that were just straight up head and shoulders better than his, they should have been taken way higher than him.
Right.
So it's not him taking that person's spot. He's one person. He only gets one spot.
Yeah.
And then, like we say all the time, they always talk about nobody wanting him or this and that. So he didn't take anybody's spot because nobody wanted him.
Right.
That person whose spot that should have been better got picked or whatever. That team should have got who they wanted. They didn't want him. So what difference does it make? The team that wanted him got
him. Yeah.
You mad because you felt the Lakers should have got somebody else? Okay, like we say, name that person.
Yeah.
And what make you feel like that person is so much better and more deserving of this spot than this young man?
Yeah.
But we'll try to get somebody that'll get brave enough to try to make that argument for their people, but it is what it is.
Somebody gonna make it for themselves. Me, I was the one. I should have been drafted in the 55th pick of the Lakers.
But
I scored 10 points a game.
Exactly. Kwame Brown. I scored 8 points a game. I shouldn't have been the first pick. They should have made me the 55th pick, but they gave it to this ninja. Now, 1 is better than 55. Y'all doing all right. Bronny ain't took nobody's spot. Yeah. But we could roll the clip, man. That way they could see that somebody else is, trying to make the same point that we're basically making, so they don't think that everything we say is just to try to ride with LeBron,
Right.
Before we get into it, you see them making the big fuss online talking about him not having any rebounds in the game. Man, I want to go back and watch that whole game. Bro, at his size and athletic ability, they didn't credit him with a rebound or whatever.
Yeah.
You think we could watch a whole game without him trying to snatch nothing off the board where he didn't even try to get in there?
Yeah, I done seen him play too many times.
That's hard to believe, right?
Yeah.
But they still said that he had 27 points and 8 assists, man, from a 40-year-old. So everybody online like, okay, so y'all really trying to act like that's a bad game from somebody that's 40?
Yeah.
You know, that's all-star, that's MVP, 27 and 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Horrible.
Right.
Get this guy, get this son of a out of here. LeBron James suck. Damn. Okay. Yeah, but we got the clip ready, man, so they can hear somebody else kind of give their perspective on what they thought about the Lakers using that pick to get LeBron James Jr. Roll a clip.
I want to start this video by saying whatever opinion you have on this situation, how they were able to make it a reality, whether you think it's unfair, nepotism, or you just think LeBron James has too much power, that's your personal opinion, and I'm not here to argue against that. I'm here to talk about skill. Because the one thing that's really blowing me about this Bronny James discourse is the fact that everybody is treating the kid like he's some bona fide scrub, as if his only shot at going to the NBA was through being the offspring of an all-time great. And in my personal opinion, I think that couldn't be further from the truth. You see, everybody wants to put so much emphasis on the kid's college numbers, but they fail to provide the context. Bronny ran into a damn cardiac issue, which already put him at a major disadvantage off rip. 1, because he's a freshman. There's a learning curve. 2, because it delayed his time to get acclimated with his new team. And 3, because he physically had to recover without even knowing if he was going to be able to pick up a ball again. And even with all those things being said, when he played 20 or more minutes at USC, Bronny averaged 7, 3, and 3. Now, are those eye-popping numbers? No. But if you did your homework and saw how many NBA players average between 7 to 10 points in college, you'd be surprised how long that list is. Next, if we're talking about a scrub, 1, a scrub doesn't make the McDonald's All-American game, and 2, he doesn't go into that game scoring 15 points on 60% shooting from three-point range. Like, bro, we talking about a competition that consists of the best high schoolers in the nation, a place that y'all also said that he didn't belong. And what did he do? He showed the hell out. Same thing that he did at the NBA Combine. Same place y'all said, oh, he didn't deserve an invite. Bronny James showed how quick he was on his feet, showed off his 40-inch vertical, and he also showed that he was a sniper from outside. So in other words, the kid is putting the work in every step of the way. Y'all just refuse to give him credit for it. And one thing about scouts, they scout based on potential. That is what you're drafting for, potential. And a player like Bronny James that embraces doing the dirty work, who has the athleticism, who has the IQ and the passing ability to get his teammates involved, that is a very high potential player, bro. And I can assure you, if Rich Paul made it clear that they were willing to accept two-way contracts, Bronny would have been on way more teams' radar, he would have been drafted, and even if he went undrafted, he still would have been on the NBA roster for the Summer League. Why? Not because his dad is LeBron James, because he's been showcasing his potential, he's been putting the work in, and overall making a name for himself. So in conclusion, in my personal opinion, Bronny James has the potential and the work ethic to be a serviceable player in the NBA. There's no doubt in my mind that he could be like a TJ McConnell or Jose Alvarado, a guy who does the little things to help his team win. So I'm not going to sit here and downplay the kid's hard work or ignore his potential just because y'all don't like the way that he got his opportunity. Because getting the opportunity is the easy part. Capitalizing on that opportunity is how you earn your keep. And like they say, you can take a horse to the pond, but you can't make them drink. So let the kid cook, man.
Yeah, man. And that was just, so another perspective. Somebody just giving their take on what they thought that's the whole situation, killing some of that false narrative that they put out there about, LeBron getting his son signed and what that means. Like the dude say, man, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. The dude still got to work his butt off, which he's been doing. And, I think they should cut him a little bit of slack. I think the guy going to be all right.
Yeah. Kid can play.
This next thing, man, I wanted to go into before we get out of here, man, is old Stephen A. Smith. The good thing I can say, honestly, man, that after a couple of days, it's finally looking like it's starting to calm down a little bit. Because I was seeing video after video, and I'm like other people, man, if you say you ain't going to say nothing, then don't say nothing.
Right. Because
at that point, man, all of that throwing some hands and all these videos with them boxing and all that, man, it was just turning into that same crap show that we say we get tired of seeing on other subjects. You know what I'm saying? Turning to pro wrestling. But it's a video, man, that's showing him like contradicting himself several times. And I've heard him say that LeBron was to go too. But it's like when you come back and say, I don't care what he do.
Yeah.
You know,
He's not a GOAT to me.
that's that mentality that people online be saying. That's that old head mentality. Because you give somebody that title and you call them the greatest, you just refuse to let your eyes see anything different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's when I started really like, man, that's some clowns. It started turning into personal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why come you can't evaluate him on his basketball? You know, we shouldn't even be having this debate if you saying because you seen one person and you already anointed them or gave them the crown that's your GOAT, then we shouldn't even be having this discussion.
Right. Ain't nothing to talk about.
No matter what anybody does, you hear me?
Yeah.
The man could win 25 more rings. It's gonna be still he stayed around and he stat pad. He didn't do it enough. Just recognize and appreciate greatness, man. But once again, I'm glad to see. And then he got to talking about you know, the draft coming up and other stuff. And I like to see that fire come back out of him again. If you about that life and you just doing your job, then no, your energy level shouldn't change.
Right.
You should still be on that, you know, still have that passion of that fire. And I think if he really honestly just shut up, get back to doing his job, keep it basketball, talk about basketball, and leave the personal out of it, I think he'd be all right.
Yeah.
But once again, just for all the people that want to nut ride and think this dude hasn't contradicted himself and played no part in it, because you know you got a lot of people. LeBron was wrong and he this and he that. You know, no. You contradicted yourself. You did it as an analyst, and you did it as far as basketball. So to me, regardless of what's coming out of your mouth, even if it's 1%, it was a little bit of personal in there. You know what I'm saying? You Will Smith, you making raps about it. You ain't really showing no remorse. You slapped the dog out of dude,
Right?
And you standing on it. You know, for some reason you was kind of humble when it first happened. Then I guess with all social media and everybody, you know, throwing jabs at you, playing you like you some punk or something. I don't know. You got in your feelings and decided to show how street, how hard, how hood, how tough you was, and it wasn't really that good of a look to me. You know what I'm saying?
With them uppercuts and them cross.
Yeah, buddy. Slow as that thing, but you say if one of them happen to connect, it's lights out. Okay, I heard that. But yeah, man, we'll roll this clip of Stephen A. Smith before we get on up out of here, man. Roll it.
I don't lie to y'all. I suggest that he be happy with the things that I haven't brought up. I never brought up really and never really discussed why you were not at Kobe Bryant's memorial service.
LeBron didn't want people to know he was there because he didn't want to make it about himself. Someone even pointed LeBron out at the funeral.
I mean, who has a turn-away fadeaway jumper at 11? LeBron barely got it today.
His ass lies a lot. It's time to not even have the debate anymore, because that's how great LeBron James has been for as long as he has been that great. LeBron James is the GOAT. My GOAT is Michael Jordan. Ultimately 40,000, now 50,000, another all-star appearance, another 50-point game, whatever. Ain't my GOAT. I'm a student of the game. I know a GOAT when I see one.
I could tell you like this. Either you seeing double vision because you done said LeBron was the GOAT before, or you saying Jordan is the GOAT. So if you can see, you know, when you see a GOAT, you must be seeing double because you done seen at least two GOATs, Michael Jordan and LeBron James. You done contradicted yourself. So like I said, with that being said, I would just focus on enjoying their talent level and greatness. LeBron James, his time almost over, man. I was thinking about it. How much... I think he got more time than what he's going to play, but realistically, man, how many years or how much time do you think LeBron James is going to play? Not how much does he have. I think he got as much as he wants, honestly. Yeah. But how many more years do you think he's honestly going to play?
I think he'll probably play another 2 years, maybe.
I say 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he called it quits next year. Yeah. But I think he got more than that in him. But I'm gonna say 2 years.
Yeah, I think
one, and then it going out farewell part. Yeah. One good year, which is next year, with still plenty left, and then after that, probably farewell to it. Yep. But we gonna keep it right there, man. And I know we gonna have plenty more to bring to him. We gonna keep on talking about LeBron because they gonna keep on talking about LeBron. So with that being said, man, we're going to close it out right there. And this has been episode 11. Phil going to put my email and contacts up there. If y'all got anything that y'all think you want to talk about on the show, hear us talk about, then hit us up. Leave something in the comment, your perspective on anything, any type of videos or segments you hear us talk about on the show. And let's get it cracking, y'all. It's Everybody Don't Hate LeBron. I'm your boy, Mikey Justice. For my main man, Phil, that's been our time. And we out. Peace.